Hey, Sooner Nation. We did it. We did it.
Yes.
Victory is ours, finally. Man, what a much needed shot in the arm last night for the program and everybody involved. Just
Yep.
man,
We
what
needed it.
a dominating win. I can't remember the last time we had a win that impressive. But welcome back, Champion Standard Podcast. Appreciate you joining us. Please like, subscribe, comment. He's Rob. I'm Brad. You can think of him as the play-by-play guy in the booth, and I'm kind of the color man up in the booth. I'm kind of the Herb Street to his. Who's the guy that works with Herbie up in the booth?
He's the jacked guy. Chris Fowler?
Yeah, Chris Fowler. Yep.
Yeah, the dude that's all jacked. Yeah, I wish I was that ripped.
But glad to have you back. I'm glad it's on a win. It's a lot easier to do these podcasts when we win. We don't have to create the mood. It's already there. But yeah, just a dominating performance from the get-go. I was shocked throughout the game, just the way everything went down. Holding Bama to 3 points, us running. I have that one stat out there. Just a masterful job running the football. We outgained them on the ground 260 to 70. like every person alive, if you would have asked them, they would have said it would have been reversed.
Right. Yeah.
Going into this game, Milroe would have ran all over the field, whatever. 260 to 70 is just a stat that just boggles my mind today. Like I'm reading it and I still have to double check it. So offense running the ball, defense just stuff in the run. I don't know how many total yards Bama did, but man, just keeping them in check. They had a couple of chunk plays here and there, but my goodness, just pass rush when you needed it, run stops when you needed them. Just felt like we got in Milroe's head there.
Yeah.
By the second, third quarter, I felt like, I don't know if he had lost confidence, but you could tell he didn't have the same vibe he did a couple weeks ago. So just a great.
No, he went into a shell into himself. You can tell he just, and really the team did too. I mean, it wasn't just Milroe. They all were. They just looked uninspired after being punched in the mouth as often as that defense was just punching them. The body blows to Milroe over and over again. You can see the motivation and just uninspired, just sort of sunk in.
That's a good point. We took the fight. Yeah, we took the fight to them, and they weren't able to respond. What's the saying? You can always have a plan till you get hit in the mouth.
Yep.
And so we hit them often and early. Just a great game. Looked like just a great atmosphere. I'm jealous that I wasn't down there. One of those fans that didn't want to go to the game because I was worried about the outcome. But for all the 85,000 plus that did go, good for y'all and the tailgaters.
We were
great environment.
We were out there. We were out there. We a couple random tidbits. One of the tailgate buddies went up to Campus Corner, and he's the kind of the loud and proud, drinking, having fun, and he yells "Boomer" in Campus Corner real loud. No one said Sooner. It was a morgue, and I was like, "Yeah." He came back. He was like, "I don't know what. I mean, it's like quiet." He was quiet. I mean, he was there like 2 hours before kick, and it was just sort of interesting. And I was like, "Oh man, that doesn't sound good." And then walking up to the stadium, I was like, "Man, there's quite a few Bama fans." It's kind of hard to tell since we're both crimson and cream and white, but get in the stadium, and I was like, "Yeah, there's quite a few. I can see there's some Bama fans there." And the place was, you could tell, 3-3 with the missed field goal and the drop by Bauer, and everyone was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
There's one guy next to me. It was just like, oh, here we go.
That's the normal script.
All right, crap. This is not
the normal
yeah.
script.
But it was that Eli Bowen interception, of course, and the Kip Lewis interception, of course, that the place just went full on bananas.
Yeah.
It was B-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A bananas.
Yeah.
It was bananas. It was great.
Yeah.
It was a fun atmosphere, and that chalk that up to you've mentioned it all the time, as a crowd, like we feed off the defense, when the defense is playing so well and get you locked in. I mean, it was loud. It was so loud. It was definitely one of the louder games I've been to, and it was louder than Tennessee. So to give you kind of I think it was louder than that. It was loud.
Okay.
It was bananas. It was bananas.
Yeah. Yeah. What's funny, last week we had a few X factors for this game, and it was take care of the football. Obviously we had an early fumble there, but we're able to, recover from that. Take care of the football, run the ball was one of our X factors, and then the defense just have one of their performances, and man, all those X factors delivered. We knew we were going to have one of those special type games in order to, win, but wow, that was something else. I haven't rewatched it yet. I need to rewatch it maybe once or twice this week.
Yeah, for sure.
But
well, I mean, you mentioned it on the last pod that what we needed to do is just use the Vanderbilt game plan, and that's exactly what we did. We ran a lot of quarterback power read and quarterback counter read. It was like a copy paste game plan from Vanderbilt. Pound the rock, be physical, and don't stop. We ran the ball how many times? 50 something?
I have the stat right here in front of me. 49 rushing attempts, 12 passes.
Yeah, I like it.
Awesome. 80%. When's the last time we had an 80-20 ratio?
I don't know.
Rush to pass. We'd have to go back a long ways to find that. I can't remember. Yeah. 49 rushes.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So 49 rushes, 260 yards. So that's 5.3, 5.5 yards a play, something like that on the ground. That's a good day in the office, man.
Yeah. No, you texted me last night and you're like, man, I can't believe we won this football game without having to pass.
I know. We
didn't have to pass.
No.
Yeah. No, that was something else. I'm still a bit shocked, but good shock, finally for a change instead of that other shock that we've been dealing with. So,
and we're gonna dive into this run game. We're gonna look and see what we did, and we'll look at a couple pass plays too. There's one that I thought was pretty neat. I mean, kind of a little creative pass play to kind of keep Bama off it, our defense off their heels, and so yeah, that game was awesome. Run game awesome. Who's looking really good right now, and I know it's not. Joe John Finley put together a great creative game plan, and you mentioned a couple pods ago. It's always good to have a candidate in house. That
it is.
I don't think people will like it. I'll show what he did. It looks good.
I know. It's not going to be what's the word? It's not going to be the thing everybody wants to hear right now, but he's kind of throwing his name in the hat if he does this again against LSU. I mean, he kind of did it last night, and if he has another performance like that, oh my goodness. We can get into the we can get into the OC talk a little bit if you want later, but I think it's probably on the back burner right now anyway. But before we get into our takeaways and some of our film or other stats, just wanted to thank our sponsors. Woodworks Distillery. I see you got a bottle there. It looks a little more empty than it did last weekend, Rob.
Yeah.
And I know you'd like to go see your guys at 9 East.
Chinese liquor, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Zach is pretty cool over there. I try to chat with him every time I get in there, and um, he's got a great selection of whiskey, man. A lot of good bourbon. Fine woodworks. You can find. The last time I was in there, there was some tasters. They
Hmm.
had a rep there that was oh shoot, I forgot. Lockwood, I think was
Hmm.
Lockwood whiskey, or actually, sorry, Lockwood bourbon.
Okay.
It was pretty cool. I mean, they've got tasters and they got a good selection. So go over there and say hi to Zach over there at 90s Liquor right next to Rudy's.
Yeah. So you wanna get into a few of our takeaways?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay. So yeah, first takeaway for me, kind of wanted to go on the defensive side of the ball. Just a master class put together by Brent and Zach Alley and that whole staff, and the team just executed, did exactly what they needed to do. Just controls Bama's rushing attack, not let Milrow get in any kind of groove. The running
Mm-hmm.
lanes were getting shut down. Of course, they would get 4 or 5 yards, sometimes a little more
Mm-hmm.
every now and then. But just a clinic put on by that defense, and causing the 3 turnovers that were the difference
Yep.
in the game.
Yep.
I don't know what more you can say about the defense other than just exactly what they needed to do came out. We talked about it on some of the prior podcasts. They would have a quarter where they wouldn't show up,
Yeah.
and it cost us in about 3 or 4 different games. There was
Yeah.
the Texas game, the Ole Miss game, the Missouri game, where the defense had a lapse, and of course, because there's such a small margin there when the offense isn't scoring, it was just costing us those games. And they showed up for 4 quarters last night, and it was just nice to see, that for a change in what this team's capable of when they show up for 60 minutes of football.
Yeah. That it was for me. We've seen the run defense play so well week in and week out. They would have some lapses, right? But that Tennessee game, I go back to that Tennessee game, and Tennessee had to run the football and get pressure off their freshman quarterback, and our run defense just like textbook spill and kill mentality. In this game, exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama could not run in between the tackles. We canceled gaps. We would collapse gaps. We would pin and cancel, spilling it to the outside. We'll show you lots of unblocked defenders filling the cup and rallying to the ball carrier, whether it was Milrow or a back. It was awesome. What's different in this is our pass defense didn't give the big play.
Mm-hmm.
There was like one decent play to Ryan Williams, which was a
Mm-hmm.
corner. Oh, it was a crosser. They ran a mesh and a crosser out, and they snagged us. That was
Yep.
it. Besides
Yep.
that, nothing. It was goose egg. They
Mm-hmm.
they they tried to run the ball on us, and we stopped them. And then when they made some gaffes and we got up on them, they tried to push the ball downfield, and our corners and our safeties gave some cushion to some of the intermediate routes,
Mm-hmm.
but they were not going to get beat deep. And the pass coverage was great. And I'm not talking about just the Eli Bowen interception or even the Kip interception. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about those plays you don't see that you have to see the entire field. Pass defense didn't let up. It was
Yeah.
there all game long and did not ever give Alabama a chance to get back into the game.
Yeah. And there's plenty of guys we can mention on that side of the ball. You already mentioned Bowen and Kip Lewis, of course, but just felt like one of those team defense games. Just a great team performance.
Yep.
There's guys that stand out that made certain plays, but man,
Yep.
all 11 were working together. And Stutzman,
Yep.
Stutzman had a great night on senior night. It was good to watch him. He was laying some wood and hitting some gaps and just all over the field.
Oh yeah.
His motor was running a little extra, I think, last night. Yeah, just yeah. That's the, those are some of the Brent Venables defensive performances that we expect to show up on Saturdays a lot of times, and maybe hadn't seen it on the win-loss column or the stats sometime, but last night it was all there and all put together. So yeah, great job by the D. Second takeaway, moving over to the offensive side of the ball. They overcome that fumble early. It was a little not sketchy, but just normal. We're driving down the field, we fumble. Great trick play called, executed great. Bauer Sharp, you need to get some stickum. You got to get some stickum or some stickier gloves or something, man. Just reel that in. Just executed, just perfect.
I think that's the theme of the game, is that execution was perfect in this game. Mm-hmm. And even when it wasn't perfect, they still found ways to get positive yards. Execution was phenomenal on offense. There was hardly any missed blocks. There was some, but even those some, they will show you where they just make the best out of it. It's crazy how, I mean, you don't run for 260 yards 49 times, and there'd be some plays where you're kind of like, what the hell are we doing? And then we still get 8 yards.
Yeah.
But execution was very, very, very hot, like tremendous in this game for the offense.
It was. Hats off to Jackson Arnold, man. I know we've been giving you grief a lot this year, but man, he commanded that offense yesterday. So there was times I felt like he was keeping it when he could have, he was faking the pitch a lot, but just what you said, they were getting positive yardage on that. If he would, fake the toss, he was still getting 4 or 5 yards, 6, 7, wait, whatever. And how about Xavier Robinson, man? God, guy that was buried on the depth chart. You're talking about a guy that has made the most of his opportunities his last couple of games. Man, that guy, I love watching him run. That's like OU running back right there. And
yeah, I told a friend that his running style kind of reminds me of Le'Veon Bell. Mm-hmm. He's so patient, and he lets things develop, and then he goes.
Yeah.
And he's like, he follows his blockers, and it doesn't look like the game is too fast, but I love those type of running backs that are patient. P. Ryan kind of did the same thing.
Yep.
Where it was just, I'm gonna let the blockers do their thing. I'm gonna believe in my ability to, even if it gets shut down, I can find 2 or 3 yards. So let's be patient, watch the blocks, like watch the defense, how they're moving. It just looks like the game is really slow for him. And he did make some mistakes in this game, but he's doing really damn good for a true freshman. There's so many freshmen on this team that are doing good. Jayden Jackson, Xavier Robinson, Eli Bowen. Did I leave another one that's up there?
Taylor Tatum.
Taylor Tatum
has done well with his chances. He's losing snap. He's losing snaps because he's losing the ball.
Right.
Hold on to the ball, man. You'll get to play. You get to play more.
These freshmen, and Xavier Robinson included, is playing damn good. They're playing. He's playing damn good. Everyone's questioning, like, why did it take, Barnes to be out and Tatum to have fumbling issues and all this to get into technically week 10 Missouri second half to give him a look, but it doesn't matter. He's getting his stuff in now, and he's making the most of it. So
he's probably getting limited snaps in practice, so you didn't know what you had. And there's some guys when the lights come on, they get stage fright. There's some guys when the lights come on, they do what Xavier Robinson does. They love that. And so he's just one of those guys. I'm looking forward to him being around 3 more years. But no, great offensive performance. One nitpicky thing. or maybe two nitpicky things. Xavier, when you're running to the goal line, 2 hands, buddy. You got to get 2 hands on the ball. He could have easily done that with both and reached it over because that was close. That was close. Can you imagine if we would have if
Yeah,
that
that's
would
a
have got
teaching
fumbled
moment.
out of the end zone, man?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the other thing, and this is, I know this is coming off a win, so this is really petty, but offense still needs to score over 20 points, Rob. That
I
streak is
know.
still going.
Right.
Just come on, guys. Let's score some points. And
Right.
the LSU game may be a shootout, so maybe that's where we see it. But
No, that'd be fun. There
yeah,
you go.
yeah. Last takeaway, just a extremely deserving win for this team, the coaches, the players, the fans. It's just been such a snake bitten, injury riddled season. This was just a huge shot in the arm for everybody involved, and just so deserving for that locker room, because they've been busting their ass every week and coming out. And you can tell Brent has kept this team engaged through, I don't know, through the most treacherous season you and I have experienced in the last 25 to 30 years.
Yeah.
And somehow kept them together. And it's him, and I know it's the leaders in the locker room that are doing that, the Bowmans, the Stutzmans, and whoever that has just kept them in there. And we saw it pay dividends last night finally.
Yeah.
And it changed the narrative, even if just for a week. It changes the narrative of OU football and the trajectory of this football team.
Brent proved to us last night that what we all know, his genuine passion is still infectious to this team.
Mm-hmm.
They all still believe in it, because they, like, even whatever happens to Arnold in the offseason, the dude just took like some serious shots in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
And because he ran the ball 25 times, and he ran it like 12 times in the quarter and a half. That's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at all these freshmen that are keyed in, all those leaders on the defense. If they didn't believe in his genuine passion, we don't win. We don't win.
Yeah.
And definitely just he proved that he's got a grip on the team. And not, I mean, whether it was being questioned or not, it doesn't. I mean, he just reiterated it.
Yeah.
He is a genuine dude. Like, he is.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there's no one and seeing how motivated that team was last night to literally dominate their opponent on the field, and they did it for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Number 7 team in Alabama.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, man.
Impressive.
Fantastic.
Yeah. They take the identity. They definitely take the identity of Brent, and it's impressive. And not to mention, he's dealing with stuff off the field. The guy's got the passion. I don't know where he has the energy. You or I would be exhausted by week 4 with everything going on. And just what you said, anybody can. It's easy to coach when you're a Texas, right? This season, schedule's not that hard. Winning it's easy to be a head coach when you're winning. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything to the locker room or keep guys up. They just feel good already. But for him to continue to coach these guys this way, just impressive all the way around. So just deserving. Hats off to everybody in the program yesterday, because I know this was needed there. You and I needed it, and the rest of Sooner Nation. But that team who's been the ones fighting, man, just a big breath of fresh air for them. So hope they're all enjoying it today. But one more game, guys.
One more. Let's go get
2
another
more. We earned a second one.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to mention that. So bowl game eligible, man. We didn't think
Thank
we were
God.
going to get there. We didn't think we were going to get there.
Streak is alive.
It is.
Streak keeps going.
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting matchup, probably early in December or mid-December or whatever. You want to shift gears, move on to some stats or film, or
yeah, let's dive into some stats.
okay.
All right, so this is pretty wild. This is some wild shit, man. So, looking at some just simple down and distance and average yards per play on each down, on first down, second down, third down, fourth down, what was our average per play? Looking at our average distance, first, second, and third and fourth down, we and looking at yards per play per quarter, looking at those three different things, we had the best game, especially in the first quarter, of Alabama all season,
Wow.
which includes Maine and Temple.
Dang. That puts things in perspective.
I
Wow.
mean, what we did last night
Wow.
was when you look at run game and play calling and execution, like this shit is wild. So all right, so let's start with this one. So average yards gained per down on first down versus Alabama, we averaged nearly 7 yards a play, 6.92,
Hmm.
which by far was the best first down average yards per gained all year. What comes close is Auburn was 6.26, Tulane was 6 yards, Maine was close, 6.91, but I've got 6.92 versus Alabama.
Wow. Wow. That's
On
crazy.
first down, we were hot. Okay, that's interesting. Let's go let's go by okay, so again, 6.92. Now let's look at average distance on third down. Average distance on third down. So we know on first down against Alabama, we were 6.92, which was the best that we've done all year.
Hmm.
Let's look at third down. Average distance, 4.1 yards a play, or 4.1 yards average distance on third down,
Wow. Just
which
night and day
again,
different. Yeah.
the second best was Maine at 4.93. After that, Missouri was 6.2. Tulane was 6.5. Houston was 8.79. Auburn
Hmm.
8.91. Texas 8.5. We won on first down
Mm-hmm.
and then got to third and manageable.
Yeah. 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 What? Yeah. Just
Okay.
what a difference that can make. Wow. Yeah.
So then let's go even one more step forward and let's look at yards gained or average per play yards gained and take all the quarters that we've all played, like all quarters of all
Hmm.
our games. Alabama, we averaged 8.2 yards per play in the first quarter. 8.27 yards per play.
Hmm.
There's only 3 other quarters that we did better in. Maine at 11 yards, which was the second quarter,
Mm-hmm.
which, Maine, we were just running wild on them. Auburn, which was 9.92 in the fourth quarter, and that
Mm.
was the Hester bomb.
Yep.
You
Yep.
take that out, that's like not even in the top 10. And then Temple, fourth quarter, Temple when the game was over. That's it.
That's crazy.
So let's backtrack a little bit. First quarter was one of the best quarters we've ever had, yards per play. First down of Alabama was one of the best we've ever played. And then it put us in third down and manageable, the best that we've ever played.
Dang. Yeah. That's just This doesn't. Yeah, that just doesn't sound right. I mean, considering our opponents.
So yeah, first down, Alabama, 6.92 yards, average gained yards on first down, and it gave us a third down, 4.1 yards, average distance on third down. So you're doing really great on first down to set up yourself for third and manageable. But then you look at the first quarter. So what that tells me, and we all saw it, we came hot. We came out guns a-blazing in that first quarter. And through the rest of the game, we dominated first down. We got chunk yards, and we committed to a run game, running 50 times for 260 yards at 5 yards per play. We came out scorching hot, which completely different than any game that we played all year. And we did it against a number 7 team in the country, Alabama.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's just impressive. And we talked about it earlier in the podcast, just taking the fight to them. You know, we just had a mentality that we were bringing the fight to them. And hats off to the offensive line. That's part of like their maturation process throughout the year. You know, we've been in this SEC schedule. They know what to expect on the other side of the ball now, and they're not intimidated by anyone. Not that they were, but that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just unreal. We played out of our minds.
Yeah.
Like out of our minds. So I didn't get a chance to do this a few times, and I wanted to highlight some our pass defense, and I wanted to look at SEC 100 snaps and give some credit to our young stud out there who's playing some really good football in Eli Bowen. Because Eli Bowen right now, can you see that, Brad?
Yep. Blow it up a little bit, please. Yep.
More? Okay.
Not so much you hide your stat you're wanting to talk about. But
so Eli Bowen.
Yep.
This is filtered on 100 snaps. That's it. That's all that's filtered. It's 100 snaps. So we're trying to get, when you're trying to find DB stats, it's kind of hard. But average yards, not average, scratch that. Yards per reception, filtering for 100 coverage snaps, Eli has given up 7.6 yards per reception, which would be third best in the SEC.
Wow.
With
True
only
freshman.
Javonte Smith, Alabama, and Barron of Texas, and Bowen is sitting right there on top of everybody.
Wow.
And he's had 200 snaps. I mean, and Smith has had 211. Barron's had 346. Boo Carter 216. Trey. I mean, he's given up 27 receptions and 15 receptions on 114 yards. That's nothing. Let's look at target.
Yeah.
Let's look at yards per target.
Second.
He's second.
Wow.
With 3.8 yards per target. His average depth of target is 9.3. That's how many, where is he being targeted? He's being targeted almost at that first down line. Average, almost at that first down line. He's only given up 3 yards, almost 4, barely 4, almost to 4 yards. 30 targets, 114. He's only given up 1 touchdown. He's had 13 tackles, 6 stops, 1 PBU, 1 interception. The dude is playing out of his freaking mind.
He is.
And he's not like he's doing it in the Big 12. I mean, this is SEC.
Yeah.
All those receivers. I mean, there's a lot of good receivers in this league, and
no, it's been impressive.
I had to highlight this guy.
Yeah, maybe the best cornerback, true freshman quarterback that stepped on campus since Derek Strait, possibly. I don't know. I don't.
It has to go back. I was thinking that too.
What I mean?
And I mean, you looking at freshman performance.
Yeah, freshman
corner for OU, and that is you're going way back. if you take freshmen out and you're just looking at like just production at corner,
Mhm.
Jamil Fleming, who was drafted in the 3rd
Yep,
round,
yep, yep.
was probably the last great corner. And Trey Brown, another
Mhm,
one that
mhm.
playing for the Steelers. I think he's with the Seahawks now. But
I'm just not sure how they were as freshmen.
I know this this kid is special. The
Yeah.
kid is kicking ass. Like he is kicking some serious ass.
He's
I
been
mean, there's
getting
some serious names on here. There's Dominique Jackson, down here. I saw another name on here, and I was like, man, that's a draft pick.
has he really been getting a lot of reps since, about the Texas game-ish, right?
You know,
He
yeah,
didn't get
Texas
much
just
those
is
first
coming
few, right? Yeah, okay.
right. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I only have it filtered for 100 snaps. He's up there. That's pretty awesome. And
Yeah,
it's not like they're avoiding him.
right.
I mean, he's got 30 targets for Christ's sake. Devontae Smith at 1 has 27. I mean, it's not like they're trying to like they're wanting to try to get production out of him. He's just preventing them from getting production off of him.
Yeah, and
Technically
and I
sound, man.
yeah, and I sent you a message last night there later in the game. I was just eating it up, the fact that they were letting him go toe-to-toe with Ryan Williams. There's a couple of plays where they were
We
matched
said
up, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? This kid can hold his own." And Ryan
yep.
Williams, he's maybe not, the best guy, but he's definitely the best freshman receiver in the country.
Oh,
He's well above his years. I think he's still 17 years old, but the guy's just a freak. And
oh yeah.
and
Yep.
he like kept him in check. It's impressive.
Yeah, I that was an awesome matchup. Our awesome freshman corner versus the other awesome receiver. I mean, that I love this SEC stuff, man. I love it. I cannot get enough of it. I
It's
mean,
good on good, man.
it
Good
is good
on
on
good.
good.
And we haven't even got a taste, Rob, of seeing like an Eli Bowen, Gentry Williams out there together yet.
No.
Eli's playing because Gentry got hurt.
So what does that do when you've got a stellar corner
Mm.
and you've got safeties that are vertically capping Alabama defenders? This is the reception percentage for Alabama. And since week 11, and to its lowest point in the
Wow.
season
Hmm.
was Oklahoma,
By
which,
far.
yeah,
By
I
far.
wish I had a data label on this, but it's below 50% for the
Yeah.
first time all year. Phew.
Wow.
Pretty wild, huh?
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
wild.
awesome. That's
That
awesome.
is awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome. I mean, we just I like we said, it was the pass coverage that really I mean, we've seen the run defense, but to see them hold up and not have a bust, and we'll look at it, they were communicating. They were all communicating so damn well. Um, Quarterbacks, we can maybe look at Milrow if you want to, and just see his just further. Uh, doo-doo.
Yeah, I thought the other corners had a pretty good game yesterday too. Just I didn't see I saw one play they highlighted on TV where RSJ came up a little too far from his safety spot and let a guy get over the top a little bit. But I just didn't see a lot of busts last night, like we've seen in some other games. I just
There weren't any.
no.
There wasn't any bust. There wasn't. They caught it. They got us a couple times just, but it wasn't a bust. It
Hmm.
was just a good call. Completion percentage by Milrow, not anything crazy there. He was getting the ball to his tight ends and running backs. He couldn't get it to his receivers. Um, I mean, we'll kind of just run through this real quick. Oh, I guess we can take a look at edge and let's see where I'm surprised to not see RMT on the top of this list here. It looks like in looking at
Yeah.
SEC, he's down here. He hasn't compared to all the rest of the guys, but RMT had a great game. All the edges had a great game.
Mm-hmm. What's that sorted on? The one over the right?
This is sorted on. This is pass rush efficiency. This is true dropbacks, true dropback wins, and it's sorted on total wins. So James Pierce Jr. has
Okay.
50 wins against total dropbacks. Swinson, Dylan Stewart, Landon Jackson, and Kendrick Folk all round out the top 5. I'm kind of thinking about it. I mean, RMT doesn't get a whole lot of true dropbacks in this last game. They were trying to run the ball a lot. But yeah, I mean, this, yeah, I mean, this defense is just real good. Looking at run stops, this is again true run stops is run plays only. Danny with 45 run stops is not even close. The best defender. He's been up there in we're finishing our game 11, so that includes all the SEC games. He's still up there. He's not coming down. He will go down as the best run defending linebacker in the SEC, and he will get drafted high because of that. And I think that's all I got as far as stats.
No, I'm glad you brought up the Eli because he needs to be highlighted. Yeah, and just overall yesterday, the defense. There's just a lot of good that came out of that game.
So not to go into negative notes, but we did have we do today have 95 total fails and pass block, which is more than 23 in 2022, and we've got one more game, and we might be as high as over 2021.
Yeah.
But we'll talk some about the O-line. Pass blocking efficiency has not been good this year. We all know that. We've seen the issues. Having a young quarterback kind of has that as a problem too, of shifting protection, but also having the musical chairs. What separates them is their run game, and we can get into that.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Brad? What do you think?
It was
Good stats?
Oh, great stats. It was also nice to see, not stats necessarily, but EPL was getting some run yesterday, and I don't know if he was just giving Wee Woo a breather or what, but he looked great out there.
Yeah.
You mentioned it early on in the podcast. Just the young talent we have on this team is just really exciting. Got to keep them around. It's going to be one of those off seasons. It's going to get a little dicey. I'm hoping a game like yesterday and another, follow that up with a good showing in LSU. You can start to, maybe change some guys' minds that were considering, going back out to the open market and stuff like that. So just need to keep it rolling here into the off season, recruiting season.
Yeah.
We got a good product.
EPL and these young guys on offensive line and Joe John Finley, they came into this game with a run game plan that was dominated by the counter game. A counter and power read. They absolutely embraced it. You mentioned last pod about Vanderbilt and what we needed to be physical. This is pretty much exactly what Vanderbilt did. It's also what we tried to do versus Texas. So that first half of Texas, remember we went through, they ran counter like crazy. They did a super counter where you remember that play where we had 3 blockers pull to the side and the defensive end, I forgot the freshman's defensive end over there at Texas, his name, really good player.
Colin Simmons.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
We ran super counter to the side. We had 3 pullers going to block that outside, and he just slipped in and made a TFL, and we were sitting here like, what are we doing? That game plan and Vanderbilt game plan,
Mhm.
it was pretty much exactly like that last night. The difference is execution and play calling. Meaning not I mean, just the rhythmatic of the play calling and
Mhm.
setting up these backers. Because what Joe John Finley did last night is he absolutely melted Bama's backers into smithereens. He melted them, and he
Mhm.
got inside of Kane Womack's mind, and he played around with him. Just just slapped him around.
Who was the one that got hurt? Was it him
Um,
or was it someone else?
it was,
Well, I felt like
Deontay Lawson.
when he left the game, I felt like that was you could kind of
Oh,
feel that the
man.
rest of the
Well
game. He
well
was a big
yeah.
loss. And don't get me wrong, I don't sympathize with anybody getting injuries this year after what we've been through. Like if you have an injury, want to make an excuse, don't talk to OU. Don't
I
talk to
know, right?
us. You
We
know what I mean?
we lost what? We had 6 receivers out this game. We had 4 offensive linemen,
Yeah, it's
um,
ridiculous. Couple of DBs.
some DBs. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not I don't wanna see anybody get hurt, but I don't wanna hear people bitching about it because this is
Nope.
like, dude, like, our injury list is I think there was a stat by the mainline pod that had oh, shoot, I'm gonna butcher it. Like, 30% of our starters were at one point on the injury report.
I believe it.
Knows
Yeah.
the mainline pod had went in and just looked at all the injury reports and just was like, "Holy crap, there's like 30% of." Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
No, and Herb Street brought it up last night again too. Yeah, that we've been injury riddled. So
yeah. Are we ready to dive
yeah,
into some film
yeah.
for a little
You want
bit?
to look at some? Yeah, let's look at some film.
Ah, let's do it.
Finally, some film that gets us excited this week.
Oh man, I am super stoked to go through this, man. Okay. So, um yeah, this game plan was we're going to run a lot of counter. I didn't chart this game. Uh, I was a little bit indisposed this morning, recovering from a hangover from all the partying last night.
Uh
So I didn't get a chance
huh.
to get a chance to chart some stuff. But I had on a loose count. I counted like 15 to 16 plays of counter, maybe even more. There's probably more in here. That would be like I think the most counter that we ran was maybe 9 or 10 times. I don't know if we got to double digits. We blew that out of the water. So let's maybe expand this out a little bit. So here's just quarterback counter just pulling the GT counter. I mean, it's just your GT counter read, and he's gonna pull it and go. I mean, that was like the first play of the game.
Yeah.
And here we go with jet sweep to Reagan's.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to pay attention to this. So we're actually using speed in the jet sweep game, which is great. And I want you to see how all these backers this is normal stuff, but they're all bumping. They're all bumping. They're all moving with it. They read it, they go get it. And it doesn't hit with a big gain, but when you hit them early, especially with some wide receiver speed like that,
Mm-hmm.
they react to
Sets
it.
sets it up the
So
rest of the game. Yeah.
so watch this. This is the next play. They're going to put Xavier Robinson in a slot, and they're going to run what they call a slide motion. He's going to come in. He's going to get parallel to the field, and then he's going to kick out. These backers are all bumping with the motion that they just saw. So this guy starts at like, sorry, let me back up. So this guy starts at a 10 and he moves all the way down to a 30. He's now a 30 backer. Now this guy just moved from the outside, which was almost like an overhang, all the way to about a 30 backer. And they're going to run this slide motion, and then they're going to kick in and run guard Y counter. And then look, there's number 11.
Mm-hmm.
Creating space. That was you hit them with the jet sweep, get them flowing, come back with a slide motion, get them bumping, and then come back. Misdirection and deception, destruction.
Yeah, great chunk yardage. Just the amount of chunk yards we got in the running game was just unreal yesterday.
Yep. Here we go. We're going to do it again. Little slide motion. But this time, we're going to run a little PA read off of it. No one's open. Space, take the free yards. But they wanted to absolutely go after these backers. They wanted them to think and think and think. That was the first drive. That was all in the first drive, going into the second drive. And, we have a fumble, bad play, and, we go into D3. But they want to go into drive 3 here. This is drive 3. But they wanted to get these backers moving left and right, east, west, bumping back and forth, changing the responsibilities, creating space, and then overloading with the counter stuff. This is just Jackson Arnold. I just thought this was a good play by the offensive line. If you see Howland here, he works himself inside. He watches this defender drop back, and he comes to the inside to help his guard, and then he just carries a guy up the arc, and then creates a little crease for Jackson Arnold. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty good for what is he, a sophomore? Is Howland a sophomore? Yeah.
Yep.
And then we get into some more misdirection. There's your shuffle pass.
Went to that 2 or 3 times.
Yep. All right. So this is right after the shuffle pass. This is on a third drive. I like this play. So again, here's a motion. This time it's an orbit motion. And again, watch Zero moving himself out of position. I mean, it's not a lot. But this Zero kicks in an extra gap. And this is the guy that ended up getting hurt later, lost. But he works himself from a 30 to a 10, and then you've got Hosida, and you've got a split bluff with Bauer, and then you're gonna run quarterback counter right off of it, and watch Zero.
That was a heck of a seam for him to get in, man. He just got through there just in the nick of time. That was awesome.
So watch that. I mean, like he
locked in,
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do this in slow motion. So there's your orbit. Your backer is working inside. It's not a lot.
You're not displaying, Rob.
Oh.
You're not sharing. Sorry.
Nope, thank you. Okay. All right, we're going to do this in slow motion real quick. So, you're going to get that orbit motion, and we're going to watch this linebacker work himself inside, and then follows that split bluff, and then watch Bauer give a great block right on that inside shoulder for Arnold to find the crease and slam right through for a big gain.
I thought he was gone there for a second.
Yeah, me too. But his use of motion, his use of pulling guards and tackles and Y or H back, creating gaps. I mean, it was great. So here we're on drive 3 again. It's 3rd and 9. We've seen this play a dozen times. It's the trickery play here, and we just drop it. We ended up getting the field goal right. Or no, I'm sorry, we missed the field goal, and we go into our drive 4. So here's again guard white counter. I mean, like they ran counter a crazy amount, man, a lot,
Mhm.
and that's good. We have an identity. It took us 11 games, but we are a counter heavy team.
Right.
We love our counter. Still drive 4. This is here. They're running cover 3. So cover 3, you're on the hash. Dividers inside of the ball, inside of the numbers. Thompson is obviously inside the numbers. So that means corner is outside on top. Safety help. Safety just did a terrible job here. Absolutely terrible. He I mean he's in the right position. He just does not he just does not trigger on this like at all. He spends too much time watching Arnold, and Arnold just guns it in there. But great play. So this play was a bust. And when I mentioned before how even the plays that we,
Mhm.
you know, didn't execute well, we still got positive yards. They're just running. I'll watch this crease right here. There's your hole. You've got a crack by Hester for whatever reason. I don't think Xavier knows where he's going. And he just bounces to the
Yeah.
outside, and it doesn't matter. Um, he ends up getting a first down and more. But that was that was one of those plays like,
Yeah. Yeah. Option B was
fresh.
just as good. Yeah.
Yeah. Still drive 4. Here's quarterback power. It's the power option there. Got wee woo, a lot of downhill running, committing to it. Hey, let's do it again. 3rd and 2. We had it on 37. We get the first down here, but again, this is another play where he's supposed to follow his guard. There's your hole right there. Instead, he bounces it outside. We get the first down, but
Mhm.
again, we're not. That's 2 plays in a row we didn't execute very well, and we still got positive yardage. Still drive 4. This is 3rd and 7. There's that motion. Get him on the outside, and these like little jet sweeps. They didn't do a whole lot. Like it's not like we had one that popped. But as a defensive end and you're that linebacker, they have to keep it honest. And we ended up getting our first field goal there. I thought this was a cool play. So this was Xavier Robinson as a fullback. Get under center. You remember this? 3rd and 2, drive 5. And it wasn't EPL that made this play. It was Spencer Brown, man. How wild is that? They're running
Yeah.
right off the inside foot of Spencer Brown. That's exactly where Xavier Robinson is reading right there, and just follows Spencer Brown right into a first down.
The beauty of this game is, we've obviously been a better running team than a pass pro.
Mm-hmm.
You just told these guys. Sorry, I got a fly in here. Um, these guys knew they were going to come in and rush the ball 40, 50 times a game, and they loved it. Just
Yep.
had on ahead.
So we saw how those backers were bumping, right? We saw them moving east west, and we were creating space with our linemen. Well, Alabama, one of the things that they did was like they basically said we're not going to move. So we're going to stay where we are. We're not going to respect the jet sweep or the orbit motion or any of that. And what Joe John Finley did in drive 5, we did that in drive. We attacked him with all that motion and shifts in the first 4 drives. And then drive 5, or on a 3rd and 1, these backers are going to sit. And this is where I was very impressed with Joe John Finley's play calling. We're gonna do a motion lead block right into this backer who does not move. If he were to bump with this, with both of these guys were to bump with this, they would have been in like great position to stop this play. But they just stay there. And then Bauer wrap blocks him, gets him right on the outside, and creates a crease. Boom, first down. Doesn't go for far, but that's a first down. So then we come right back. This is 1st and 10. We're going to run counter bash. So counter bash. This is, man, like I said, this was just awesome. Like I can't, as a dude that watches a lot of film, so they're going to run, it looks just like GT counter. And instead of the quarterback being the read, so usually the quarterback is the read. So like the running back would go this way with the guard and they would read it. Instead, this is the invert. In this play, the quarterback is the power, and the running back is the read outside. So they shift him to the other side, and so they shift him to the other side. All these guys check to their right, meaning they're expecting an action this way to the offense's right. They're going to run GT counter to the left with the quarterback with the read to go quarterback counter, and then they're going to bash it to the opposite side with the running back. And he reads this defensive end, gives it. Now, you would like to see Hickman get a little bit more of that, but it was kind of a hard down block. Pretty hard. And then what does he do? He takes off, gets the edge, and scores a touchdown. That, ladies and gentlemen,
that's good stuff.
Is what we call play calling. That is, you're setting up multiple layers through the game and you're scoring touchdowns. Like, that was awesome. GT counter bash. I've seen it a couple times this year with OU, but it was the timing and the setup with the jet motions, the orbit motions, the motion leads, all of it. And everybody's saying they want Ben Arbuckle, or Ben Arbuckle's out there, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't know. Like, Ben Arbuckle ain't doing this.
No.
I mean, Ben Arbuckle can get you some passing game, but his leading rusher is his quarterback, which is, in this game it was as well, but I don't know. I just felt like this was a pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he faked that pitch 4 or 5 times during the game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Fake the pitch, hit the quarterback counter, give it, bash the hell out of him. Here again, there's more counter. I mean, there's so much counter, man. So here, this is after the turnover. So we've got Eli who picked the ball off. They're running guard, Y counter. There's the sweep. Backers all bumped to the right. I mean, this is when I say that Joe John Finley absolutely melted these backers' keys. He melted them into smithereens, dude. They all bump with the motion, run the counter to the other side, fake the bash. I mean, I had a lot of fun watching this. I had a lot of fun watching this again. Like this was like, I'm gonna watch this again just for fun because it was. You were saying like it was master class on defense. Like Joe John Finley in this offensive line, to the heart and the grit of Jackson Arnold, to Xavier Robinson, just with that Le'Veon Bell play style. I mean, this is an offense, man. I wish we had this 6 or 7 games ago. We would have beaten South Carolina and Missouri.
Yeah. And I love all this is on tape for LSU to watch this next week too.
There you got a lot to think about. A lot.
Yeah.
So let's go to a note I have here on the passing game. What was Jackson Arnold's passing stats, Brad?
Yeah, he was 9 of 12. Yep, 9 of 12.
9 and 12?
Yep, 68 yards. That's net.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about some go-go offense? Did you notice this in the game?
I didn't. Is that Brendan Marion offense right there?
Yep. Well, yeah. This is go-go.
Okay.
You got dual set. Now, Bauer's not a running back, but this is go-go. And what they're going to do, I might actually be better to show the all 22 here. So what they're going to do is they're going to run a corner route. They're going to run a speed out with the tight end, and they got a flat. And Arnold is going to roll out, and he's just going to read the 3 layers. 1, 2, 3, and find the open zone. I mean, the run zone, man, it don't matter. You just find the open guy. They flood it. I mean, this is a boundary flood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a boundary flood concept. That's all it is. But I thought I was like, man, that's a go-go. Like, and there's your speed out. There's your flat. Maybe I was wrong on who was the flat guy, but easy pitch and catch. That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that was a nice design play, and that's not a play that Arnold makes. Game 4 against Tennessee, we saw him throw a couple picks. That's difference in game 4 and game 11.
Yep. And then they did some quarterback pin and pull. And after that, I mean, they were up 24-3. And with 6 minutes, now it was just grind the clock out.
Mm-hmm.
Just grind it out. And they just kept attacking, kept going.
Nothing more satisfying than being able to just keep moving chains when you're in games like that.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have on the offense, man. I really enjoy a good counter offense. I think it's awesome and really fun to watch, seeing how you can attach different motions and get many people involved. I mean, almost every guard and tackle pulled at some point in this game, and here's Jackson Arnold just icing the game. And what I forgot what play this was. Let's watch this one. This is the one that basically just. Oh, this is a broken play.
Another so this 5-yard gain or something on a broken play. Yeah.
No, this is like a 15-yard play, but it's completely broken. So watch, I'll play it in slow motion. This is again what I was mentioning is how even when it wasn't executed right, we just kicked their ass. So running back mesh, Xavier Robinson kind of forgot what he was doing there.
Yeah.
And you've got Bauer Sharp that's eyeing this defender, and so is Xavier Robinson, which you never draw a play where 2 guys go and block the same guy.
Worked out that time, didn't it?
And Everett does a great job of getting to the second level. Roberts blocks his guy. Everett gets and blocks his guy. Again, this is not. I forgot what this was, and he just takes off, man.
Yeah. No.
Positive yards.
Yep. What's funny is you showed all this offensive footage, all these run plays. You might have a hard time collecting the prior 10 games and showing that many good run plays.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If you would have
yes.
collected all the plays from the prior 10 games and stuck it on here, I'm not sure that
You could
the
say
game Saturday, there wasn't more.
that is a good point. I bet
You
you
know,
could. I bet there's more good run plays in this game than all split zone. We were averaging 1 yard a play, and we ran the damn thing like 40 times. Shit zone is what you called it.
right, right. Hmm.
Look at Howland here. Look at Howland. Look
Yeah,
at Howland here,
I
man.
all these injuries have just allowed all these young guys to get all these reps this year that are going to pay dividends next year.
Oh, I have to say something, and I didn't get a chance to say his name, and I'm gonna say it right now. Ozida probably had the best game than any lineman in this year because
Wow.
I, I should have highlighted him more as we were going through all this counter stuff, but I think Ozida had the best game than any other lineman ever in any game. So here he is, right here, and Howland. These two guys just, I mean, Howland just buries his guy. Ozida's up here
Yeah.
being a bully. These two had a hell of a game. Hell of a game. I wish as I went through there, I highlighted them a little bit more, but you guys can go back and watch and how Howland and Ozida actually just manhandled this Alabama defense. But anyway, that's all I got on offense. Do you want to take a look at defense real quick? I don't have a lot on defense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's probably a handful of plays there for sure.
So we've seen this play. Here's RMT just doing
Hmm.
RMT things, but we mentioned like Jalen Milrow we just harassed him.
Yep. He was
Um,
very, very uncomfortable.
so here's Jayden Jackson just being a stone wall. Here he is as a 2-eye and 52, which I think is maybe Booker. I can't see. I don't know who 52 is on. I
Yeah.
mean, he's a stone wall. He doesn't move.
Hmm.
The guy can't do anything. And then Ethan Downs works inside. If Jayden Jackson gives any ground here at
Yep.
all, this is
Yep.
a play. But that 18-year-old freshman, look at this guy.
Yeah. No, he's
You
a mammoth.
cannot tell me he's a freshman, man. Like,
Yeah.
golly, crazy.
Hmm.
Let's see. Let's go to another play that I liked. Oh, okay. So just like in the Tennessee game, spill and kill. This defense is all about pinning and canceling gaps and then playing heavy. This DN edge here, Downs, sorry, is playing heavy. As soon as he gets a base block, he is crashing this B gap. So you've got these studs in Deshaun Terry and Jayden Jackson that are pinning gaps, meaning they are standing people up, stonewalling it, gap is done. And then these open gaps, like this B gap or this A gap, gets completely collapsed down. Crash and collapse, pin and cancel. And what this is just the Tennessee game, except for we're in an even front. I mean, we're just doing it in an even front versus doing it in our 3-3-5. Here's Deshaun Terry preventing a linebacker or preventing a lineman working up. You've got Jayden Jackson taking on the pooler. So Ethan Downs is not even looking at the ball. He doesn't know where the ball is. That's not his job. His job, spill and kill, is to crash this B gap. Crash and collapse. And Jaden pins and cancels. Deshaun Terry pins a double team. Ethan Downs, crashes and collapses this B gap. You're gonna have guys that are unblocked that swoop in and fill the cup. It's all about filling the cup. And as this slow moving play, Jalen Milrow wants to hit it out, he has to bounce it out elongate the angle, and this is like classic spill and fill. Boom, boom, and everyone rallies. Pin and cancel, crash and collapse, and they did it over and over and over again. I want to highlight this play too. This is the 3rd and 6. It's a 0-0 game, and I thought this was a very smart play by Jayden Jackson. They are running a not stunt here, thinking that they were going to get a pass play, and watch what Jayden does. So again, a not stunt, nose over tackle, thinking that they might get a passing play. They want to twist and add, gap exchange essentially and pass protection. But Jayden, being a smart guy, realizes that it's not a pass play, it's a run play. And what he does is he takes this center and I named this play Jayden Jackson tosses guard out of club. He takes Brailsford and just tosses him. And by doing so, prevents Parker Brailsford from getting to the second level and opens up McCullough to get a free shot at the run play.
Mm-hmm.
So watch Jayden Jackson just take this dude and just toss him, realizing it's a run play. That is team defense, y'all. Like that's team defense.
No, he blew up the whole play for about a 5-yard stretch there.
Look at that. Just like And what happens? Settle for 3.
Yep.
And that smart play. That's a freshman. Smart play.
Part of me was wanting them to go for it. I was wanting a goal line stand early just to like shift a little momentum, but I'm glad they didn't in hindsight. So
I'll go to this final play. So this is the Eli Bowen interception, and I thought this was kind of cool. So here's Eli, and watch what he does. He signals to RSJ, hey,
I'm jumping
the top of me. Get over the top of me. That's what, and RSJ signals back, tapping his helmet, I got you. And they either must have seen this before, like Eli and RSJ must have seen this, and Alabama does a freaking terrible job blocking this. I mean, look at the effort on this.
Hey, we've been there before. I get it. No, he did a great job jumping that route and getting around that guy. I don't know if was
6 Kobe. I mean, like he's like trying to play patty cake with Eli, who's like a heat-seeking missile at that point. Like what?
Great pick too, man. Kind of had to
almost dropped it.
Yep.
Yeah, almost dropped it. But if I'm an Alabama coach, I am going to be ripping my guys. That was like some real piss poor effort. Like that should never have happened. But I mean, 6 is like, hey, can we play patty cake? And Eli's like, nope, I gotta go take this ball from you, fool. God, I wish he scored just to.
I know.
Just to seal it. And Kip Lewis, we can watch the Kip Lewis one real quick. It looks, when we mentioned in the last pod about how Woody and Ryan Williams was a mismatch. They didn't ask Woody to go to carry any verticals from of 2 downfield. Instead, they asked him to collision and cut to the flat and let Eli Bowen and RSJ and all them. This looks like quarters to me, and Kip here is a mirror of Woody, meaning like Woody is over here collisioning with Ryan and then is going to cut to the flat. Kip is actually looks like he's trying to get to 2 and just like 1, 2, 1, 2. He's trying to get to 2 to collision to him, but at the same time, he's got his eyes on Jaylen, and he just throws it right to him. I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't like Kip was doing anything. Like, that was just a play call. Like, go hit 2, and he kept his eyes on the quarterback, and he just threw it right to him. He's trying to get to 2, collision and get to the flat. I'm a great play call. Kip's just like, okay, you're gonna throw it right to me. I'm just gonna go score.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a great job avoiding Milrow there to get in.
Yeah, like we talked about. I mean, the pass coverage was just so good.
Yeah.
Pass coverage was good. There was no busted plays. Anyway, that's all I wanted to go through today, film wise.
Yeah.
I think we went through enough.
Yeah. No, I think everybody's probably done like us and probably watched the game replay already since last night. So there's probably a lot of people like you that are recovering today because that was one of those just yeah.
I stayed up late to see if USC would lose, just so that we can have a cherry on top.
All right.
Eric Bieniemy and UCLA couldn't do it. Damn it!
No.
But
Yep.
yeah, I was so excited. I was so jacked up. Like I was wound up when I got home. I was so wound up. That's probably where that half of the bottle went to that. But yeah, that was it's so good to finally have a week where we can just be happy and have that hope of what we can build on for next year. And I as a scheme film nerd, I love the counter game that we unleashed. I think it's phenomenal. I thought all the different variations of it was awesome, and Joe John Finley played a great game, called a great game. I thought Ballard Sharp, Ballard Sharp even caught shit from me in the early part of the year. He's been playing great. Effort on a whole nother level than it was in the first half of the year. Howland, Ozida, dude, like we have a left side, we have an entire side on the offensive line that can move people.
Yeah.
And Sexton out for the year, it was all doom and gloom, but that offensive line's looking really good for next year, don't you think?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's going to come down to the whole pass protection, thing. That's where they're going to be able to set themselves apart. Running game, if you tell them they just going to line up and run, I think they're good. But we'll see how they develop pass protection wise, and just all the reps these guys have gotten this year that weren't expected with all the injuries. Those guys are going to step in next year, and freshmen are, they're going to be seasoned. The freshmen and sophomore are all going to be seasoned, and then this new class coming in, obviously, hopefully we can keep Fasusi and Foje, and these guys can come in and add a little bit along with the guys. EPL got a good look, and we got Akankumi and Eugene Brooks. I just think maybe we need to go to the portal. That's where you maybe find the guy that is really good at pass pro.
Sure.
Because we don't feel like we have that on campus from what we've seen.
I think OC and a new OC or an OC that for a spring or actually bowl practices and spring and summer.
You said bowl
and
practices,
then growing up,
Rob.
I know, thank God. We needed those bowl practices.
Yeah,
I don't know how many we'll get, 12 or 15, but that was much needed.
Yeah.
And you get those practices and Howland, Ozida, EPL, Wheelu, and Sexton and Josh Bates' offensive line is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, you're going to have some great depth behind it with the guys that have been playing,
Yep. It looks promising.
Yeah.
We'll table the OC talk later. I wanted to kind of go into it, but I say we just wait and see, and
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
it is, there,
There's a
at
lot of
first it
moving
was
pieces. Yeah,
yeah, there's a lot.
yeah. And then people out there don't believe everything you hear. Um, there's no one's got a contract that's signed, sealed, delivered, or anything like that yet. So just hold tight. Things will play out here in the next week to 10 days. We'll probably know our guy.
Yeah, it's and it can change.
That's
It can
right.
change within a few hours. I mean, even if as long as a deal isn't signed, like anything could happen. And Brad and I, you and I are not insiders. We'll wait. We'll wait and see what whoever gets blessed with the opportunity to be the OUOC, and that's when we'll do a great episode where we'll dive into the next episode of the man, the myth, the legend of whoever it may be.
That's right. We really
So
don't know at this point.
yeah,
I actually think last night might have raised some eyes from some guys that maybe weren't looking at us. You never know.
could be. I
So
mean, get a
yeah,
big win like that,
yep.
and you go take a fight to the Tigers, and a lot. As I'm saying, a lot could happen. Like a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
And all it takes is a phone call.
Right,
If there's no deal signed, all it takes is a phone call.
right,
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, I want to be your OC. Oh, great. Did you sign this? No, no, it's open. Great.
right, right.
Saban, come on down.
Yeah,
So I'm playing. That'd be so
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Nick Saban decides, oh, I conquered defense. So I want to conquer offense too.
yeah,
That would be great. Okay,
yeah.
I'll keep that in my dreams.
Want to wrap things up here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Great episode.
yeah, absolutely. We've established it today. Rob's the play-by-play guy in the booth. He's got all the film. He's got all the stats. He keeps the show going. I'm just the color guy here. So, but appreciate everybody tuning in. I know the mood's a lot better today than it has been. So everybody's enjoying this one for sure. Be able to ride this one for a while. But yeah, appreciate you listening. It's Thanksgiving week, so just enjoy some time with your family this week. Safe travels, and until next time, Boomer Sooner.
Thanks, guys.